welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason, happy hump day. It is Wednesday, and it is going to be mass pandemonium. Dogs and cats living together. Yes, complete chaos. We got a great show lined up for you very quickly. The markets are essentially doing jack squat. Why? Well, we got this big Fed meeting coming up, and everything's going to depend on what the Fed does. I do apologize for yesterday. We weren't on. Not our fault. Literally, all of Johnstown, I shouldn't say all, most of Johnstown was out of power. Power just went out, you know. What do? The station had no power. The transmitter had no power. But it's back. And it was out for a long time. We have battery backups. They last like an hour. Yeah. No, that wasn't long enough. The whole thing, I don't know what happened, but it was out for a considerable amount of time. But we got everything up and going again, so I apologize. Silver still over 60. Matter of fact, got up to 61.70. Right now, 60.55. Silver gold right at 4,200. We don't expect anything dramatic until the Fed announcement. Is it going to be a dovish cut, a hawkish cut? It's going to be a cut. I'll say this. Here's what I'm going to tell you. $43.50 on $20 gold pieces. And that's in effect until the price moves. We can have everything could change in a heartbeat when the Fed comes out like around, in about 3 or so hours from now. If you want silver, there are no more sealed current year 2025 or backdate year Silver Eagles currently available. We do have, you can still buy a case, but it won't be a sealed case, $33,750. If you would like to pre-order 2026, and let me explain this, you will have to pay for it, like you do normally, right? You cannot, this will be for the 2026. You cannot wait. I'll pay for it when I pick up. We won't even have them for at least 6 weeks. At least. Of course, that doesn't mean squat. I got to pay for it. So if you want a case, sealed case of 2026 Silver Eagles, $34,750. If you want a roll, an individual roll of 2026 Silver Eagles, $13.95. And obviously that price will vary, right, as the price of silver moves. But it is Wednesday. You know that on Wednesday we set this day aside to primarily talk about Texit, and we have a ton to talk about. Obviously, if you're watching the price of Texit, right, it's a massacre, right? It's getting jack-stopped here. I'll just say, and again, as you know, I always tell you what I'm doing. I had an order at $2.25 this morning. It filled. I'm still buying, but I figured this would be a great time to bring in an insider at Texit. So yesterday, I'd asked my buddy Gage Blake. He is in the Texit office. If you've ever listened, especially if you're struggling to get people signed up to Texit, he does a Monday call every Monday, and really helps people be able to communicate about Texit more effectively. He's in the inner circle. There is I'll just say the rumor is that Gage, when Bobby is ready to ride off into the sunset and step aside and retire in his mega yacht and, who knows where he is going to end up, that'll be Gage. That'll take the reins at TXIT Coin. So it is an absolute honor to have him here with us. Gage, I know you're a busy guy. Thank you so much for joining us. And obviously yesterday was a very big call because names were named. Layer 2 is coming. And Bobby literally told everybody why he's not worried about the price. And then, of course, like that you guys like to do, you got even more great incentives for people to share the news about TXIT Coin.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. I'm honored to be here. And, last night's call was very exciting.
No, I was just going to say, it was a very boring call. And then there was like 10 minutes of wow. We're going to tell you about it. 877-536-1360. The call and text line is open if you want to get out and get your questions answered by Gage. We're back here, Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason with Gage Blake, the rumored golden child of TXIT. He's going to be the one that's going to step in, 2030-ish, maybe 2035, who knows, but he's in all the big meetings. And 877-536-1360, the call or text line. We'll get to them. Some of you are already texted in questions. Thank you so much. But before we do that, Engage, before we get to the promotions, I want to talk about, and it was kind of interesting because it was over an hour into the call before I think the real good stuff came in, and why it is, Bobby's not worried. And I know a lot of people, if you're watching the price every day, you're worried, and rightfully so. But he started talking about Layer 2, how it's progressing, talking about not a couple, not 20, 50, 100, but hundreds and maybe even said thousands of people are waiting for us in Layer 2. Said that we'll be looking at starting Layer 2 in McKinney, Texas in January. Then name dropped places like the Iowa State Fair as people that are waiting for us. And, the Iowa State Fair, I know a lot of you think, Iowa, come on, that's a tiny state. Their state fair is massive. Matter of fact, they have well over about 1.2 million visitors every year to the Iowa State Fair. And he kind of was explaining how Layer 2 works at the Iowa State Fair, McKinney, whoever it may be. They'll have these tokens that people can buy on our platform. And if they buy $100 worth, right, they've got to get $1 of TXC for the gas fees. And, of course, our fees are so cheap. $1 in gas fees is like an eternity. But when you take just the Iowa State Fair as an example, let's just say that every fourth person gets to $100. So, in other words, 1.2 million. And I'm being kind, because let's face it, $100 barely gets you in the door. That would be 400,000 TXC. And chances are, really, if you look at it, just something like the Iowa State Fair, that could be 1 million TXC in literally one event, Gage.
Yeah. Over the course of about 10, 12 days, you know. It happened very quickly.
And it was very interesting to see and you could tell, right? Bobby's really, really confident in what we are going to be able to do and it makes sense because I always said to everybody out there, Layer 2 seems like a no-brainer if we can make it easy. Like, and he used examples. If you've ever been to like an arcade, like a Dave & Buster's or something like that, where you put money in the machine and it gives you a card, right? That's kind of something that Texacoin's going to be able to do. If you want to go to a place and they got a wristband, Texacoin's going to be able to do that. If you're a merchant and you take credit cards, we would be able to almost essentially, Gage, have kind of like your own Texacard debit card or Texacard credit card.
Right. So everything he was talking about, right on that Layer 2, he's so fired up about this because it's the real core, it's the real meat of our project, right? Bringing this to the communities, bringing this to the businesses, to empower economic, prosperity throughout all of our local communities and fairs and festivals and different things like that. And so after, the last couple of months with these meetings with not only fairs, the international fairs and exposition community, but also all the local mayors and city official meetings that we've had over the last couple months, this is what these guys are wanting. They've been looking for and hunting and talking about this year after year after year in all of their meetings, and we've got what they want, and that's one thing that Bobby came back and was telling us. If he can bottle up the confidence that he has in this, that he knows, and put that in a welcome packet and ship that out to every single person that joins our program, to show each and every person that we've got it. That's what last night's call was about. And it's just so exciting to see how fired up he is and to hear about all this and how much that they want our program and our project because of how much it's going to benefit them, right? And so not only just one state fair, this state fair, or that city, right? But just every single event, every single city across our entire country is going to be able to benefit this, and we can give it to them all for free. That, I think, is the thing that's mind-boggling for a lot of people. That's hard for them to understand how we can do this and how nobody else has figured this out before. But that's kind of our niche, right? That's our ace up our sleeve is we have the expert in alternative currency with Bobby Gray. And, the fact that he has these connections and we have the people now on our team that can pull this off and get this all together, it's just amazing to see. It's amazing to watch. And I'm so blessed to be a part of it. And, just like you said, the golden child here in the operations, being able to see this day to day, it's fascinating. But I do got to address some of those rumors about taking over Bobby's spot. That you're right. It may happen one day, but we are not in the plans of doing that yet. We still need our founder and fearless leader out there right now. But
hey, I'm just saying what I heard, Gage. Days, right? Don't shoot the messenger. Right? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what I heard. And I know this. You'll definitely have my backing when that time comes, for sure. But I wanted to really hone in because you said something. You said the F word. And, you got to be careful because, we've got, you can't say the F word on the radio, right? And, of course, I'm not talking about the FU word. No, he's talking about free. How can we deliver this for free? That's insane. It's one of the things, like Bobby said, the reason he said there's thousands of them, they're all waiting because we have figured out how to make this free and yet at the same time drive TXE to, and Bobby's not playing around. He reiterated it again, right? Top 20, that's nice. But Gage, he wants to be a top 5 crypto and thinks we've got the sauce to do it.
Yep, top 5 or even top 3, right? We believe we've got the best of, some of the biggest projects out there, and we're a combination of them all, and there's no reason why we can't drive our market cap and drive our price in the right direction to get to that top 3 level, right? He stays conservative with his numbers with top 20, top 10, top 5, but ultimately he wants to be that top 2 or 3. And, I think we're really going to be able to do it, especially just like you said, once we start rolling this out and implementing this, we're going to have it to where everybody that comes on, they get a 5% bonus with buying $100 worth, which is not $100 worth of TXT, right? This is our stable coin, our layer 2 coin that they would be exchanging. It's more or less exchanging their physical dollar into a digital dollar, and they get a 5% bonus for that. And then they have to buy $1 worth of TXE every time they are going to load up another $100. They're going to buy another $1 worth of Texas coin. And so just driving that demand, city after city, event after event, it's going to happen a lot quicker than people think, because we're not just going to go out there and do one event at a time. We have leadership all over the country now, that can go out and help with the process of this and get this implemented everywhere quickly. And so quickly may be a year, but, in a year's time to watch us go from wherever we're at right now, 200, 300 crypto project in the world out there, to a top 50, right, to a top 30, to a top 20, in a year's time, it's going to feel like it happened very, very quickly. And that's what a lot of people are staring here, today, looking at the price, or the last couple of weeks of our price falling and thinking, man, I don't know about this. Man, the people in this are not worried. When you understand the vision and you understand the plan and where we're going and how we're going to get there, the price today is not important. It's really not. And I thought Bobby did a great job last night of addressing that. But also, I tell people to do the Warren Buffett method, right? When blood's in the streets, that's when you want to be buying, right? And I know you do the same, Joe. When the blood's in the streets, that's when you're buying up and scooping up all the gold and the silver you possibly can. And then when it pops, which we're going to pop someday, and everybody's going to be looking back at these days thinking, man, I remember when Texas coin was $1.85, back when it was $2, $3, right? And we'll see that. We'll see that again very, very soon, I think. But yeah, on that call last night, we have plans on rolling this stuff out in January, February. And I had a conversation there after that meeting, the people asking about, we're supposed to be building out the mine and have the mine built out before we start layer 2. Well, that really wasn't ever the plan. We just needed to have enough of the mine built to where we could start rolling out the layer 2. And then as we work through this into the first quarter, second quarter of next year, we're going to be able to build out this mine a lot quicker now that we've got 2, 3, 4 spots going, right? 2 or 3, 4 sites up and running. Now that we figured it out and kind of got it all dialed in, these next ones are going to go quicker and quicker and quicker as time goes along. But, the size and the redundancy of what we have already right now is perfectly capable of running mission-critical Layer 2 operations just as it sits right now. And so that's why after the first of the year here, we're going to start testing and rolling this stuff out pretty soon. So that way we can capitalize on this fair market coming into the state fairs in summertime of next year. And then we're also looking at multiple. I mean, that's the thing. There's no end to how many events are out there that can use this stuff, because if somebody really wanted to find out, there's tons, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of events out there that already use an alternative currency, some form of it, whether it's paper tickets, tokens. Most places are getting away from the cash and the credit cards already, right?
Right, they're using wristbands, or they're using kind of like a Dave & Buster's, right, where they're you put your money in, they give you like a card to use.
Yep, absolutely. And that's something that we're actually looking at, too, that Bobby mentioned last night was, instead of trying to develop our own card readers and cards and this type of stuff, that we might just go out there and buy some company that has already done it, just to get it done quickly. And that's something that, we have. That's what we try to remind people too. Like, we have so much going for us. We've capital raised $140 million into this project. We have a huge mine running right now, and it's not going to be very long until we get going. World will see.
Coming up on the break, 877-536-1360. When we get back, Gaines has got some incentives for you all, too. 800-951-0592. That is the number here to Patriot if you want to get into Texit or add on to your Texit holdings. And then, of course, 877-536-1360. Call or text line. That's everybody. If you're listening right now, we are live. That is the call or text number to text any of your questions very quickly. Gold right now, 42.03. Silver, God, it just doesn't stop here. Bumping back up towards $61. Backdated rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles today. You are looking at $1,345. You can pre-order 2026, but you have to pay for them and then wait. Cases of 2026 Silver Eagles, $34,750. Rolls of 2026, $1,395 at 800-951-0592. Now, Gage, I had a question come in, and then I want to go into these promotions. The first one that we have, and our listeners kind of know about this, it's this gift card. You can buy a gift card. It's $2,985. You buy the gift card, you get 100 hash. Then the person you give the gift card to, they're going to get the 3+1, so they're going to get 4 seats instead of 3 seats. The question is, can someone who receives a gift card buy 2 or more to total 5 bought for the +1 bonus? So let's just say someone gets the gift card, they get the 3+1, and then in the first 30 days, if they buy 2 more seats, Gage, do they get the 5+1?
Well, that's a good question. No, they're not going to get the extra one for just upgrading to the 5 because now if they upgrade to the 9-pack, right, they will be getting an extra seat. So the most that anybody's going to be able to get is the 11 seats, just like it is now with the 9-pack. But the benefit of it is you're able to get that one extra one instead of having to pay, $49.75 for the 5-pack for the 5+1. You can get the 3+1 now, right? So we brought it back for a limited time and made it more affordable for a lot of people out there. And a little bit, everybody gets a bonus with it. So not only does the purchaser of the gift card get the 100 mega hash, but the receiver gets an extra 100 with that 3+1. So when they upgrade within their 30 days to the 2 more seats, they're not going to get an extra seat just for upgrading that.
All right. So basically, if you get the free seat with the gift card, your next free seat wouldn't be until you bought 6 more seats. Got to buy 9 seats to get it. So thank you for clarifying that for us. But then on the call yesterday, you announced another special. Tell us about that. That has to do with cash potential. So those people out there that have no cash potential, or maybe they've got 1,000 or 2,000 cash potential, here's a big opportunity to get a bunch of extra TXC.
Yeah. So let's break it down very simple here. Let's say that people are at 0 cash potential, right? You get cash potential by sponsoring people. And so the whole goal with this, and my whole mindset with bringing this to the table, was to fire up the community and get people out there motivated to share this project with people. And while we're in the accumulation phase right now, to accumulate and put more TXC in their pocket. And so if they have zero cash potential and you go out there and you sponsor one person, they buy one seat, you now have 1,000 cash potential. We're considering that as a double if you've never sponsored and you're at zero. And so if you do it in one commission period week, and you go from 0 to 1,000, we're giving you a 10% on that double, which would be 10% on 1,000. You get $100 worth of Texas coin bonus, right? So that $100 bonus is paid out in TXC. And, same thing if you go from 3,000, if you start at the week with 3,000 cash potential and you bring 3 people on or one person that buys 3 seats and you go to 6,000, so you've doubled with 3,000, that 3,000, 10% is a $300 TXC bonus, right? So it's gonna provide people a way to get out there and increase their bags by helping to bring people onto the rocket ship and sharing this project with everybody else, right? So it does a couple things good for the community, but then also it's gonna have people. It's gonna give the people the ability to put some more Texas coin in their pocket right now, because it takes a long time to mine, $300 worth of Texas coin today.
Right. So you're sitting there thinking, hey, you bought a 9-pack. If you're saying that your husband, your wife, your kids, whatever, someone buys a 9-pack, so you got 9,000 cash potential if you buy a 9-pack. If you got someone under you with a 9-pack. If they get somebody else to buy a 9-pack, that's going to double their cash potential. They're going to get $900 worth of TXC for that.
That's correct.
Am I right? Is my math right?
Yeah, you're correct. They're going to get $900 worth of TXC, and we can step it up even more from that and tell the people that come on with a 27-pack, if they go out there and find somebody with a 27-pack, that's going to be a double on their cash potential.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. Yeah. So anybody that doubles their cash potential, so if you go to your dashboard, you see what your cash potential is. If you double that in a week, you're going to get 10% of the double to use as to get more. You'll automatically get TXC. So if you went from 2,000 to 4,000, you're going to get $200 of TXC. For doubling your cash potential. If you don't have any cash potential, you never sponsored anybody, you bring on a 1-pack, you're automatically going to get $100 of TXC during this promotion. And Gage, how long now? Is it week by week, and how long is it?
Yeah, so we're going to go week by week, and we don't really know how long we're going to do it. If it, if we see the numbers from it and we like it, we're going to keep this thing rolling. But we're kind of testing the waters to see how it goes. So, it's going to be here for the next 3 weeks for sure. And so, we're going to see how it goes and then determine from there if we're going to keep it going. But, the big thing behind this promotion was to, Joe, me and you, and I know Jason, we all do a lot, right? We're all big producers. And so this is a nice promotion for everybody else out there to get something and keep us big guys from swooping in and taking over the board, right?
We'll be right back. We got a commercial coming up. We got more questions coming in for Gage. 877-536-1360. Stay with us. We're back here, Joe and Jason, along with Gage Blake, 800-951-0592. That is the number you call for your gold and silver, Texit, all of those things. If you want to get a question in or call in, 877-536-1360. Gage, is the current down pricing of Texit due to founders unloading their coins, or is it just holiday season, right? People need money. Do you still expect Texit to reach $16 in February? So this was something Bobby talked about on the call as well, Gage.
Absolutely. So let's dig into that. So do we think that it's founders or the early adopter or the people that got in early unloading a bunch of coins? It's tough to say And from what I look at, which is the top 100 accounts on our rich list on the TexasCoin.org website, there's no transactions coming out of those wallets. And so it's hard to say who is unloading, right? But it could be the time of year, the holiday season. People are focused on gift giving and gatherings and the holidays and all that type of stuff. So maybe there's a lot of people that need some money and they've been selling, right? Maybe there's somebody that out there that's not a part of our program that went in and bought a bunch of coins somehow, sometime way back when they were 20, 30, 40 cents, and now they're starting to unload. Like, we don't really know, and we don't really have, there's no ability to really see who would be unloading this many coins. Because as you can tell, our market volume and stuff over the last couple of weeks has been staying pretty high. Even though it's mostly selling, it's $500,000, 750,000, 1.5 million a day, that we're trading. And so there's a lot of market activity. And, as we've been on this call, I've been watching it. We went down and tapped $1, and now we're back up to 220. Right. So,
Gage, let me ask you, Gage. Let me ask you real quick, Gage, because, could it just simply be that because Joe and I got in the very end of April, the beginning of May, and then we brought in all of our gold and silver customers, radio listeners, and that's how we pushed Texas Coin. I think we helped it hugely back in May, June, and July. And in those first months, the price goes up 30% every month. It's just bang, and then it goes from 46 cents. It's $1. Now it's $1.50. Now it's $2. And in the last 2 months, it's gone sideways. Do you think a lot of the selling is just simply, hey, it's not moving, I don't like the movement of it, and then it goes down, you see that slow slide, kind of the price going back? Could just getting all the more weak constitution people just out? I mean, and how long could that last?
Well, I don't really think it's our community. I don't really think it's a lot of the people that are in the community driving this sell pressure. And the reason why is if we do the math and we look, we got 55,000 people a part of this thing, right? And if you go back 54,500 of them, they really haven't been able to mine enough coins to even sell this much, right? Even when you add it all up, there's not enough to, not to the tune of, $15 million worth of selling over the last couple of weeks. It's really hard to fathom that it would be from our community because they just wouldn't have mined enough coins. Now, if some of these people that got in early bought $50,000, $100,000 worth of coins, so on and so forth, and if it was thousands of people that did that, well, then then the math would work out to where that could be it potentially. But it just doesn't seem like it's the people from the community as much. It could, again, we've had a big presence over in Asia for a long time, too, this year, even before we did our big Thailand trip, because we buy all of our equipment from Fog Hashing and Bitmain and some of the biggest companies over there. Who knows if some of those people went in and bought $50,000 worth of coins back at 10 cents, and now they've started unloading it. And so it's hard to say. It's really hard to say, to figure out who is selling, but it would be hard for the community with the amount of coins mined out there over this year, the people that got in this year, to accumulate this much and actually have this much sell pressure just from the mining output alone. It would have to be more than that. And so, eventually this sell pressure does have to stop because you can only exit one time. Once you've exited your position, you don't have it anymore. And so it does have to stop and turn around at some point. Now, the one thing that is correlated with this sell pressure is that our sales have slowed down. So just like you said, back in early March, April, May, when a bunch of people were getting on, we were increasing 30 to 40% month over month over month. And our price was reflecting that, right? Well, over the last couple of months, our sales have declined. They haven't been non-existent. Like, we're still there. We're still doing very well. We're still covering everything. Everything is perfectly fine. And we just haven't accumulated that 30 to 40% growth month over month anymore, right? And so we've seen the direct reflection in the price started to come down. But then from that $4 price that for $3, $4, $5 price, this sell pressure down to $1, this is probably just pure panic from the people that just bought coins and never bought their mining seats out there. Because they're not invested in the community, they're not invested into the project. They're the get-rich-quick guys. They're the community. They're the crypto people, right, that want to 100x their money very shortly. So those are the types of sellers I believe that we're seeing out there today. The people that just heard about the project, bought a bunch of coins when it was cheap, and is now just selling out the position. And I do believe that the sell pressure will go away. It will stop at some point because you can only sell once. And then, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens when February comes around, the end of February. But Bobby's very, very confident that we are going to be able to hit our mark. We'll be very, very close to it.
We'll be right back. We're going to wrap it up here. Stay with us. Okay, very quickly. What about those that have 60,000 cash potential? So they need 120,000 for that bonus. Yes, right, Gage. They would, if you've got a lot of cash potential, right? Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they got to do.
So,
but that's the way this promotion was designed, right? This was designed for all the little guys out there, all the people that's been on the fence, or maybe that's brought in their 1, 2, 3 the first time and haven't really done anything, right? This whole promotion was designed for everybody else to get theirs, right? And keep the guys like me and you that have several $100,000 worth of cash potential. It's going to be hard for us to double it, Joe, but everybody else in our community, because you got to realize there's like 54,000, 50 out of 55 that are $3,000 cash potential or less. So if you guys want to be
a huge get, Gage, we're going to run out of time. But I want to address the other part of the elephant in the room: $16 by February. Right now, and I think Bobby laid that out very succinctly last night. Right, the goal is if the mine sells out, he thinks the price will be there.
Yep, absolutely. And if we see the mine sell out by then, we will be there. Based on the plan to 16 and based on the sales and the liquidity we can have set aside for that. And so there's no reason why we can't get there. There's absolutely nothing saying that we can't hit our goals, but it's going to take a lot of work for our community. And that's part of the reason why this cash potential bonus is in place, is because, like I was saying, if 54,000 people out there have 3,000 or less and they go out there and double their cash potential, Joe, we're going to bring in well over $150, $200 million into this project. And that could happen in a week. If every single person was that motivated, that could happen in 1 week. And then this whole thing turns around and we hit our goal by the end of February, no problem. Now, that's going to be tough to do, right? And I don't expect all 54,000 to do it week one. But as we keep this promotion rolling, it's going to motivate more and more people out there to spread the word, share our project. And there's also some other things, and I don't know how much information I can really get into, but there's a lot of things in the works. We have a lot going for us. And if the right things happen here soon in the next 30 days, we're going to hit our goals. But everything does have to happen right. So if we miss it and we're off by a month or two, it's not a big deal. We're not concerned. We're not worried whatsoever. But Bobby's very confident that we're gonna hit it. We're gonna do what we say we're gonna do, and so
you have it.
I'm excited about it. Go ahead.
Right from the horse's mouth, Gage. I know you're a busy guy. I really appreciate you coming on today and letting all of us hear from the inside what's going on at Texas Coin. And again, I want to highlight too. Anybody that wants to buy $10,000 or more, call us here because we will be able to get you a awesome price, especially on this pullback. Of course, the pullback is less of a pullback right now, but still we got the coin around $2.10 right now. If you want to buy $10,000 or more of TXC, call me and I'll talk to Gage and we'll get you those coins and really allow you to load up here at these cheap prices. Gage, again, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll have you on again at some point in the future.